Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, we don't actually want this at all. Hello, okay. Yeah, that's what we want. Hello, okay. Okay, so that's going, that's going. Hmm. Yeah. I don't think they fixed the paperweight problem. I mean, it should be working. We can. Yeah. Okay, yeah, this works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Live stream manager. Oh, let's just. So that shows there. It's better this way anyway. All right, so hopefully that works. So much real estate on Facebook by itself over here. So I can see everything. Okay. It's about as set as everything can be. Okay. We're about set. Okay, so hello. I'm very excited to show off these things that I've been accumulating. Just a mix of the old stuff, new stuff, and some of the good stuff that's come out in the past couple of years in the game. Let's not bury the lead here. I'm a big fan of Silver Quill, big fan of their work and their contributions to Dungeons and Dragons, so I'll start with them. Catch up these two later. Let's pop this bad boy open. This is a cool, very fun concept for Magic the Gathering, having students, and I know they've worked into this more into the plot of the game. I think, yeah, 6-7 people were stuck in Duskmorn, and that's a pretty cool way to start tying the sets together. Not much else of extra stuff. I'm surprised no little what's it called, Commander Precon, Commander Collector Pack bit. So I'll just get right to what's in here. Our Commander, Killian Decisive Mentor. Let me just take this thing off first, one thing at a time. Okay. First commander is Killian Decisive Mentor. 2/3 for 1 white black. Legendary creature, human warlock. Whenever an enchantment you control enters, taps up to 1 target creature and goad it. Until the next turn, that creature attacks each combat of Fable and attacks a player other than you of Fable. Whenever one or more creatures that are enchanted by an aura you control attack, draw a card. Do the cool thing, draw a card. Works well. Oh, we got second commander right behind it. Strip the Obligator. It's the best way to actually see these cards. That's what. There you go. Alright. Just so you have the actual look to it there. Right. It's kind of hard for it to stay focused completely, but you get the visual there. And the other commander, Script the Obligator, Obrigada, Flying Death Touch. When Script enters or attacks, create a white aura enchantment token named Contract attached to target creature an opponent controls. The token has enchant creature, and whenever enchanted creature attacks, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn if it's attacking one of your opponents. Otherwise, its controller loses 2 life. Very, very interesting concept with this deck. There's another commander that I would want to see in here. We'll get to her at some point, hopefully. First rare card here, a Ganjo Dynastorian. Ooh, Fox Advisor. Whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, the creature becomes prepared. And then replenish. Oh my god, a classic from Urza Saga. There you go. When you attack with 2 or more creatures, this creature becomes prepared. And then replenish. Return all enchantment cards from the graveyard to the battlefield. Very interesting stuff. Alright, let's start flipping through the rest of this deck. These are kind of the top line stuff here we're going to be comparing to. I just have a little support here. Holding up my Nitha in the air, it's going to be, there you go. Okay, yeah, nice. All right. Next up, Forum Filibuster. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 2/1 white and black Inkling token with flying. When you do, return up to 1 target aura or equipment from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to that token. Interesting. So it's a way to kind of always be able to get back auras or equipments. For 5, it's very big. It's, I guess, kind of like a for like a stabilizing effect. Interesting but questionable. Herald of Amity. When this creature enters, exile up to what? If a treasure exile the top 8 cards from your library, you may cast an aura spell from among them without paying its mana cost. Then put the rest of the bottom of your library in a random order. When this creature attacks, it gets +X/+X, versus the number of auras you control. Interesting. Okay, yeah, this is got we can hit hard for this thing. That's pretty cool. Changing Loyalty, Flash Replicate. When a creature dies, return to the battlefield under your control. To Flash Replicate, and yeah, if it kills something that was dying that you didn't control, it would come back under your control, which I think is very interesting to consider. Let's see. Course of Impetus. +1/+1 and goaded. Whenever a creature attacks, you draw a card and lose 1 life. So yeah, you goad a guy, and you're always gaining life at an attack. So yeah, this definitely seems like it would be fun to throw on somebody. Intermediate Chirography. When the class enters, create an Inkling. When you lose time for the first time of the turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. And then at the beginning of your step, if a modified creature died under your control this turn, create a Inkling. Very, very meh. But for the first time, it's unfortunate that it's just limited to once per turn thing. I guess, yeah, it's kind of like it's a creature plus other stuff, so you can't complain too bad, but I don't know, not terribly exciting. Kind of up there with this thing here. Defacing Dusk Mage. Whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, this creature becomes prepared. And then Vandal set it to myself draw 2 cards, and each player loses 2 life. So you have to give something to your opponent to draw cards so this gets active, because this doesn't activate for your own card, the activating effect. So we're gonna We're gonna look into this. Questionable lands, nice lands. Fabled Passage. Ooh, Fabled Passage, not that terrible. Ooh, Eldrazi Conscription. +10, +10, Tempo, Annihilator 2 for 8. You get that bad boy from that Herald? Oh, you are cooking. Not less exciting. Johnny is chosen whenever a champion you control enters. Create a 2/2 white cat and creature token. If that enchantment is an R, you may attach it to the token. Well, unfortunately, you have to have something else to target it, and then if you want to switch to the token instead, you can do that. Yes, again, questionable. It's whatever. Big enchantments with this for sure. So this is a better version of that. It's kind of what you want. Something. Archon of Sun's Grace. Pegasus creature you control have flying lifelink 3/4. Pegasus creatures you control have a lifelink, and whenever an enchantment you control enters, create a Pegasus 2/2 white Pegasus with flying. Much better version of a Johnny's Chosen there. So yeah, we definitely want this kind of effect because it makes creatures you can put stuff on, and this searches often comes in the library. Armor Sky Hunter, 3/3 flying. Whenever this creature attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library, put a aura or equipment card onto the battlefield. If an equipment is put onto the battlefield, you may attach it. Oh, that's unfortunate. It's for equipment. Only equipments get attached. I guess auras by their very nature would get attached. It just says interesting. I like, since it doesn't mention it, it means it's an aura. It would by definition be enchanted, be put into the battlefield. You just choose who you put it on. Not even then. Okay, so this is good. This is still pretty good. It, yeah, it gets you more things. Whenever, oh, I have this somewhere for some reason. It's not really that exciting, but I just got it. Things you can attack you or planeswalkers you control. Okay, well, it's good to have that, I guess, in the meta, right? Whenever a creature attacks one of your opponents, that attacking player creates a tap 2/1 white and black inkling with flying that attacking that opponent. And you're just getting everybody inklings. So as long as you have he's still here, they can't attack you. Yeah, it's just kind of also in this kind of weird pile. Eladen of Countless Battles, bestow. This creature and a 10 creature gets +1/+1 for each creature and for each aura. Yeah, this is definitely in with this. Angel Soldier, whenever attack with 2 or more creatures to our card, whenever another player attacks with 2 or more creatures, they draw a card if none of those creatures attacked you. Very interesting. I like the politic card. Gift of Immortality, when an enchanted creature dies, return that card to the battlefield under its own control. Return this card to the battlefield, attach to that creature at the beginning of the next end step. Cool. Yeah, I guess it's, again, insurance. Oh, of course, Spirit Dance, very nice. Classic one for the Aura's deck. What's supposed to do for each Aura? Whenever you cast an Aura, you draw a card. Ooh, land tax. Keeping it classic. Beginning of upkeep, if an opponent controls more lands than you, search a library to beat basic lands, put them into your hand. You wouldn't expect to see land tax. And Garrett the Diplomat, the first. Yeah, we get allowed white to draw cards? Why wouldn't that be okay? And of course, you can't like actively draw cards. Things have to be happening to you in order for you to draw their cards. But you draw cards. Nils Discipline Enforcer. The beginning of your unstep. For each player, put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature that creature player controls. Each creature come with 1 or more counters on it, can attack you or planeswalkers you control, unless a controller pays X, with the X is the number of counters on that creature. Very interesting. I don't think that's for this deck because there's a counters theme instead of the auras theme, but well, we're gonna file this away and figure out where this actually goes. They're going into some other deck. Enchantment spell setting affinity for auras. This is gonna be good for when we start mixing stuff from the other commander decks. I'm excited to do so. So I'm not gonna read every single card anymore, and so I can get to the other stuff because we're really. I'm just gonna talk about the cards and not describe the cards as much as I can. So, but yeah, this is gonna help with the other stuff. Should put a value counter on a creature you control and sacrifice the rest. Each of those creatures can attack you for as long as it has a value counter on it. So it would be for the counters that interesting redemption arc. That's a pretty indestructible as goaded. Yeah, so yeah, we want these enchantments. Shielded by Faith for indestructibility, sure. You can check your attacks, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal our card. You may put that card onto the battlefield. Yeah, very nice. Oh, yeah. So it's itself the enchantment. Guess I'm gonna put it into the big enchantment pile. It's okay. So the piles we're organizing here would be more like themes than card types than themes. This card draw, our enchantment draw. Okay, yeah, let's actually organize these things. And so boost from auras. We're gonna put all these together. Big auras, enchantments. Technically would fall. Well, we'll put these. We'll call it medium auras. Well, there's no. Nah, we're just gonna organize them by how big they are. 3, 3, 4, 4, 8. And cards that draw us into auras. I've gotten a few of these. Well, this is still more for the enchantment boosts, like making them cheaper. I guess technically I would say that we'll put it into that. Yeah, we'll do those. Yeah, okay. Back here, wrath effects for auras. We definitely want that here. Enchantments, because all your creatures minuses. Very good. We definitely want that in this deck. You have another goading thing. Enchanted creature +1/+1 death touch and goaded. When it dies, return it to the battlefield. Just, return this card. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, that's very cool. Keen Duelists. You and target opponent each reveal the top card of the library. You should each opponent. Oh yeah, we both Dark Confidant. I remember. Yeah, this gets in the weird draw cards pile. We're gonna put land text in there because you're drawing lands, but you're still drawing cards. Draw a card, removal. We got more, more would be. Oh, she's here! Thank God. Yeah, okay. One at a time. Whenever a player attacks one of your opponents, if that opponent has more life than another one of your opponents, the attacking creature draws a card, and you put 2+1/+ counter as a creature you control. So yeah, this is more for the counter side than the aura side. We're gonna separate out the aura side from the counter side. Technically, this one would be both, but I'm not super excited about either one, so we'll just shove that on there. That stays. These will all technically stay. But yeah, we wanted to see. This is the card I wanted to see in this deck. Each creature that's enchanted by aura you control can attack you or face targets you control. So you can enchant your opponent's things and make them not attack you. and then each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life with the number of auras you control, and among yourself or your opponents. So yeah, very, very cool. That's going in. Ink Shield, the ocean, another different ocean button. We're gonna put in with the Wrath effects. Oh, we got old Silver Quill. I guess that creature. Player creates a token. Draw a card. Player target player puts a +1/+1 counter on each creature they control. So for the, I guess for the tokens stacking the counters and the auras type, which is what this thing wants to do. It's just like a draw card. I'm gonna put in text with creatures. So yeah, we're gonna do that. We got more removal, lands. Is this all of Restless Lands? No, we got it's just random series of things here. Okay, Flickering Ward for Flickering Enchantment with Protection. This has got a this has some promise. Fallen Ideal, when the creature has flying, sacrifice a creature. And then when this aura is put into a graveyard, return to your hand. It's another kind of less, I guess, for the tokens side of it, it's okay, but not super exciting. So we'll put this into the kind of like maybe pile. This one is more exciting because we can you can minus a thing, and whatever it dies, you move it somewhere else. Definitely like that in this enchantment. We got our land mana package here. Arcane Signet looks pretty sick. Through magic, through study, know the world. Through magic, know yourself. Chains of Custody. When enchant creature you control, when this aura enters, exile to a non-land permanent until this aura leaves the battlefield, and enchant a creature has a ward too. Okay, so yeah, it's an aura to banish a creature as long as the creature it banished stays in play. It's interesting. This is fine. Oh, we got good commander removal, Ghostly Prison, generate good enchantment, Martial Impetus. So is the other impetus, like ghoulish impetus. And whenever this creature attacks, each creature that's attacking one of your opponents gets 1/1/1 on the turn. Oh, interesting. You can always cast it for 3 from the graveyard. We like that. When it's our enters, draw a card for each aura control that's attached to a creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each aura you control that's attached to the creature. Secret Rendezvous, it's kind of whatever. Intense Eyes we like, Sense by Ghost we like, Spirit Mantle we like. I recognize all these cards, so I'm flipping through these a little faster. Ooh, Animate Dead. Our spells goes one. Let's talk about an aura to put on this deck. Very nice. Animate Dead. It's just Animate Dead, guys. I'm not gonna read. It's very confusing to read, but it's just Animate Dead. And this is a good insurance policy. Parasitic Input. Ghoulish Impetus and Parasitic Impetus is interesting. They have 2 black ones from, I guess, different sets. Well, I guess this one's rare and this one's not. +2/+2. Whenever they attack, the controller uses 2 life and you gain 2 lives. Yeah. Oh, good. I was wondering if Old Killing was going to be here. It's good to see. More mana rocks. We need those. We want to be able to target things. Very nice. And I think this is probably the rest just lands here. Yes. And here are the tokens. Contract token. There's other aura making tokens. So what do I like from here? Like I said, there's usually two different directions you see it in. This one's either aura or counters, and obviously the auras is the bigger focus. So we'll keep most of that stuff and kind of have these counter things in the maybe in the tokens one in the maybe pile here. It's because they're just not super great, and probably will find better things for it. As far as the removal package, it's not too terrible. Could be a little deeper, but yeah, there's I guess a lot of the enchantment. There's more enchantments here that can handle the removal department. And from the creatures, a lot of like the main ones I wanted to see here. This guy, these enchantments. This one, it's just like a general good guy. This is a little risky, but not a lot of things or more than 3. So we'll try it for the time being. We always want to leave things that can draw cards when possible. I don't know if replenish guy is gonna be good enough here. I think it's very good. It just kind of does. It wants to be in something that's a little bigger than this. So yeah, we're gonna keep. We're gonna keep the bones, the aura bones here, and crack open one of the other boxes to see what's good to save here. And I guess we'll keep the top row. Well, we'll keep these the commanders, the kind of quasi commanders of this deck out, just so we have an idea of what we're working towards. Let's open. Yeah, well, let's open Miracle Worker here. The other, it's enchantments have miracle, so enchantments that cost you can cast it from the top of your deck if you're at the start of your turn. If it's the first card you draw, right? You drew this turn, and technically drawing card. If we, I guess, draw those cards in the opponent's turns, could that would work, wouldn't it? And that'd be interesting. See, here we go. These older products have arch enemies cards. I thought not where I thought you were going with this, but I still appreciate it. And we have a Minato Veil Piercer. I wonder. Yep, I'm looking. What can I see? Okay, so there's a comment. Why can't I see the comments from Facebook? Technically, this should, well, theoretically, is it the same one? So it's this one here? My basic one, okay. I'm assuming that's that. Okay. Anyway, getting distracted. I'm gonna open these 3 things so we can smush them together and do something fun. We're back here. We're back. And open. And open. All right, so what's the veil here? Yeah, well, I already said she can make all of your enchantments at cost 4 less. Well, the first enchantment you draw, but you have to cast it immediately. It's so you basically knock it down to like the color pip requirements, and she can surveil to a return, so that's not bad. Second commander here. When this enters, put X will counters on enemy X cards twice. Each enchantment card in your graveyard has escape. The escape is a the card's mana cost less the cards in your graveyard. So interesting, but yeah, it goes more into this. This is what we're talking about here. This is the interaction we want. We want to start seeing here. Milling and replenish. And a creature that can attack. 3/3. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff we want to see here. That's just going to go straight for that. It might be its own commander right there. Okay, this room situation is a little questionable, but let's see if we can see it there. When you unlock the store, return it to one creature, target to its owner's hand, and then one or more creatures deals common damage to a player, draw a card, one or more. Yeah, this is pretty mid, but I guess enchantments. And then land. Auramancer, interesting. Okay, it's got a pretty solid one here. Let's just get this out of the way, so yeah. I'll keep it in mind over here while we look at the rest of this. So this is good. Oh, swords. We need swords. Always want swords. Search. Enchantment searching. Very nice. Ponder and portent. We definitely want all of these cards in this deck. Diabolic Vision. Put the top 5 cards. Put them in your hand. And the rest on the top of my library in any order. Interesting. I guess yeah, again, for it works for this thing here. Signet, Soul Ring, land. Cast out. Yeah, we need stuff too. And again, these are exiling everything's enchantments. Very nice. Yeah, but just technically this all counts as removal. And big enchantment to be miracled. Removal, counter removal. Creatures you control, opponents control, lose flying and can't cap, and flying. Cannot. Not allowed. Illegal. But you can have reach. It's pretty mid, but well, it's an enchantment creature, so I guess that does work with this. I guess we'll considerate, otherworldly gaze. We want to have stuff to thirst for meaning. All those were born. This is kind of pretty mid stuff here. Brainstone. Interesting. Looks lovely on an end table. So it's supposed to be a brainstorm on a rock. Cute, and I guess. Yeah, these are just kind of cool. Oh my god. Commander Sphere, we're still doing this. Let's not. Mind Stone looks sick. Signet, very nice. Redress Fates. Return all artifact and enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Yeah, so yeah, there's another replenish redundancy. We'd like to see that. Secret Arcade or Dusty Parlor or Dusty Parlor. Non-land permanents you control and permanent spells you control are enchantments in addition to their types. When you cast an enchantment spell, and put a number of 1/1 counters equal to that spell's mana value onto one target creature. Yeah, I'll both cute, but not terribly exciting. We'll see. Again, it's more of the counter spec than the spec. Soaring Lightbringer. Other enchantment creatures have flying. Whenever you attack, create a 1/1 white glimmer enchantment creature. Token tapped and attacking that player. So yeah, just giving all of your enchantment creatures. I guess that's that other card to make your stuff enchantment on top of your things. Okay. Fear of sleep paralysis. When fear of sleep paralysis or another enchantment whenever you fully unlock a room, tap up to one. Oh, some counters can be removed from permanents your opponent's control. Okay, okay. This is this is exciting. Big enchantment, yeah. Each spell you cast as a demon, horror, or nightmare costs one less. When you cast a spell, the amount of mana spent to cast it is less than its mana value. Target opponent loses life equals to the difference. Very specific, not for this deck. Whatever's going on here, we're not going to be dealing with that. When you attack this door, this room deals 6 damage to target creature and opponent controls. You gain life equal to the excess damage dealt this way. Once during each of your access maze, once during each of your turns, you may cast a spell from your hand by paying life equal to its mana value and paying its mana cost. Yeah, it's another way of getting your stuff in play. Metamorphosis Fanatic. When this event enters, return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a lifelink counter on it. With itself, and it has a miracle. Miracle guy. Phenomenon Investigator. When it enters, choose Believe or Doubt. When either believe, when a non-target creature control dies, create a horror. At the beginning of your end step, you may return a non-land permanent you control to your hand. If you do, draw a card. You may. It's not too terrible. Mesa Enchantress, nice. Classic. Terminus Enchantment, the Sweeper. Animato's Augury. Exile top 8 cards per library. You put a land card onto the battlefield until end of turn. For each non-land card type, you may cast a spell of that card type without paying its mana costs. Big spell. And I guess you can turn it into an enchantment. It's quite a bank shot. I don't know. Doesn't seem worth it. Outer End. Yeah, we need the removal for sure. Another big removal spell. Oh, monologue tax. Whenever a opponent casts their second spell each turn, you create a treasure token. Oh, nice. Okay, easy. I haven't seen this before. Very nice. Undo Spirit Dancer. When an enchantment you control enters, you may create a token that's a copy of it. Okay. Undo Spirit. Have I not heard of this? Once per turn, sure. You said you'll empty throne. I was wondering when you would turn up. Getting guys. Starfield Mystic also here. Timely Ward. Can protect commanders as a flash. Verge Rangers. When you look at the top card of your library, as long as your opponent controls more lands that you may play lands on top of your library. Green Meter surveils 4 and then returns. Target application making a copy every turn. Creates a copy of an enchantment. One with the multiverse, big enchantment. When it attacks, Scry. Shark Typhoon, sure. Remix to Mind Flail. When it's in a creature unless you control 3 more permanents you don't own. It's right here, end step. Exile top bottom card of your opponent's library face down. You may cast permanent spells from among them and you can spend mana of any color. Demon Fate's design. When each of your turns you may cast an enchantment spell by paying life equal to its mana value rather than paying its mana cost. Sacrifice an enchantment. It gets +X+X. When it gets its 10 mana value, it will get the Wake as well. Shepherd, very good. Shroud Veiled, I've had some wearing shield again. Life Insurance, interesting. Whenever an non-target creature dies, you lose a life and create a token. With a step, choose a target permanent card in your graveyard. You may sacrifice a permanent that shares a card type with the chosen card. If you do, return the chosen card from your graveyard to the battlefield and it gains. If this permanent would leave the battlefield, exile to the finale counter. Well, we like this. We like Solemn. Yeah, caves, lands. Yeah, thankfully put all the lands together. That seems more reasonable. Yeah, and here are the tokens. Thank you, sharks, inks, glimmers, four scarecrows, copy guys, treasures. Treasures look cool. Okay, so obviously there's other miracle things that aren't enchantments, so we would avoid those. Yeah, well, stuff we want to continue with just so we can focus on one theme here, which we're going to stay with the aura theme. But, so yeah, we're going to move away from these other things here. This is just kind of value. We definitely, these are copied from the other ones, so any of those will take out. We'll leave them on. Oh, we'll definitely get that out. So yeah, well, what do we like? What do we like to bring in? What do we actually want to see in this deck, which is basically we're going to be importing stuff in. Well, stuff I'd like to see in that deck is it's going to be its own thing here. Put this. So the card draw package here is we'd want to see, definitely don't want this. We'll take this guy out of it. Kind of grounding everything that isn't flying is interesting. So yeah, we're just gonna smash everything in here and then just start cutting things when it's time. Because we still got one more deck we want to smush things into. And it's one of the big ones from the year, Final Fantasy. We're gonna do anything with this. Well, we'll put these in here. And yeah, we're gonna put these off to the side, so we just keep track of the stuff we want to keep building into or not. Science and spellcrafts. Now we're just going to, it's like non-creature spell. Because obviously there's creatures in here, but she's a creature, so she's got to count for something. And obviously we can, some of this stuff might be better in one of the other decks that would come out of this thing. So let's see what we got here. It's like $1 million now or something, is it? Well, we're gonna keep that nice and tight for historical value, I guess, if nothing else. Move this all off to the side here. Let's see. Everything get out here. Okay, last box. Stola wants people to lose 4 or more life every turn, and a casting mana of non-creature spells with mana battlefield 2 or 3 or greater. Other guy here, when you cast a non-creature spell, you may pay X life, which is X that spell's mana value. If you do, create X hero creatures and put X, create a creature token and put X counters on it. Again, for the counter deck that this wants to do. And partners with who? Alpha Nude Levelier? Jesus Christ. Who is this person? Hope it's in here somewhere. Who wants to do him from their library? Champions and Beyond. When Disenchantment enters, create X, 1/1 colorless hero creature tokens. When you attack with 4 or more creatures, cry it 2. So if we Aminado this thing, wouldn't we be able to do like X? You can set X because we're casting it, right? It's Miracle X. You may cast a card for its attack. Miracle cost. This is mana cost. Mana cost reduced by 4. I'll have to say what the ruling thing on is, but I think we can still, choose an X. You're casting it, so you can still choose an X. You can just at least X. Before we have to pay anything. So yeah, this definitely wants to be with this deck. I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess there's a miracle deck and there's a enchantment deck, and I guess we can try to see what should go where. So it has to be enchantments. So anything that is an enchantment by definition won't go into this deck. Job select when this equipment enters, create a 1/1 colors hero token, attaches to it. Quick use X plus +2 plus lifelink, and other command creatures get +2/+2 and lifelink. Okay, so yeah, it'll add it to +2/+2 and lifelink, and then the commander's all gonna get +2/+2 and lifelink. It's cool, but I guess it's just like its own thing, right? Create 2 movable creature tokens with lifelink. When you cast another creature spell this turn, create a token that's a copy of non-saga token. For 2/2, +1 counts on each other move what you control. And God King Mug to 12. Good King Mug to 12. I don't know what they're going with this thing. Oh, fantasy. What are you guys doing? When title enters, you may draw a card and target opponent may draw a card. Whenever an opponent draws a card, if it isn't that player's turn, create a tapped treasure token. This ability triggers only once each turn. Okay, interesting. It's more of a weird group huck situation that's kind of wanting to be its own thing, I'm pretty sure. Flash, 3/5 flash. When Dankred Waters enters, another target legendary permanent gets indestructible as long as you control this guy. Whenever you cast a creature spell, this gains indestructible. So it's interesting. Okay, so I don't know why these are weird creatures to have in this deck. Oh, here we go. These are the two buddies here. Casting spells, fast spells. You cast a second spell, draw a card. It's interesting. Who made this Kane? +0/+2 is a wizard. And in addition to its other types, and whenever this creature attacks, exile up to one target creature or sorcery, instant sorcery from the opponent's graveyard. If you do copy it, you may cast the spell, the cast by paying 3 rather than its mana cost. Weird, very specific effect that I don't think we're going to be doing. May cast another creature spell, create a blue bird with flying and vigilance. When you attack with more bird surprise, just okay, the bird guy do bird things. Flying vigilance for 2. When this enters, and when you cast another creature spell, a creature gets +1/+0 and can be blocked. Very interesting. These are cool cards, but they kind of just aren't gelling into things that doesn't look like to me. Enchant a creature an opponent controls. When this enters, remove enchanted creature from combat. Then draw a card for each top creature the opponent controls. The creature is all abilities and can attack or block. Interesting, very specific. Draw a card for each top creature each controller controls. Eindhog. Enchanted creature has black dragon, base power is 4/2, flying, get cuts goaded. And when it put into a graveyard, return to its owner's hand. Well, we got another enchantment here that comes back. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, survey 1. Whenever your opponent ends up, each opponent may sacrifice another creature of their choice. Each opponent who doesn't loses 2 life for each instant sorcery in your graveyard. Interesting. Sphere wizard. Whenever you cast another creature spell, whenever you draw your third card, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Sure. Whenever you end step, put a soul counter on this equipment for each player who lost life this turn. Each creature gets +1/+1 for each soul counter, and it's an assassin. It's kind of weak, honestly. Transpose. Draw a card, then discard a card. You lose 1 life. If this spell is cast from your hand, create a 0/1 creature token. Draw a card, then discard a card. You lose a life. Okay, so you get 2 of the draw a card, discard, and lose a life, and then you get 1 of this guy's. Not super exciting, I'll be honest. When you cast a white spell, +1/+1 on each creature you control, they gain vigilance. When you cast a black spell, +1/+1 creature on each creature you control, they gain menace. So yeah, for the counter stack, spells you cast from your graveyard cost 2 less. Whenever one of your opponents lose life, you may cast our series for graveyard. The spell would be graveyard exile instead. And once it's turn, see, this is a commander. This is a spell commander worth trying. This is interesting. Well, but I don't know. Stinging Valenu. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a 1/1 counter on a Stinging Valenu. It gains flying until end of turn. At the beginning of your second main phase, draw X cards and lose X life for X number of your opponents who were dealt by combat damage or a dragon. It's random. Hildebrand Mandaril. Adventure creates a zombie creature token, and then creature tokens you control get +1/+1. When it dies, you can cast it from your graveyard as an adventure until the end of your next turn. Okay, we got tokens, some more token stuff. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you can return target creature with mana equal to its mana value from your graveyard to your hand once each turn. Okay, yeah, very nice. No creatures you control, your cast cost 1 less to cast. When I cast, as long as you cast 2 or more non-creature spells this turn, has double strike. Nice. When you cast a non-creature spell, please look at each opponent, you gain 1 life. Each opponent lost life this turn, sacrifice a creature with a raised power. These names are crazy to pronounce. Yeah, I guess theoretically I would want that here. Maybe I'd do that or something, I'm not sure. Ideally I'd have it actually there. Maybe cast play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile, gain 2 life. Draw Arcanum. Maybe top card. You may exile it face down. Interesting stuff. You play a land from exile, cast a spell from exile, gain 2 life. Very interesting. Okay, Commander's map. When this artifact enters, which will refer to 2 basic planes, put them into your hand. Whenever a land or controls enters, if that player controls more lands than you may play a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Weird. Authority of the consoles, which is your opponent enter tapped, and they regain 1 life for each one of those. Exile. Removal. Sweeper. Okay, Mage Emeritus for instant sorcery, draw a card. Dig 2 time. Rite of Replication. Sublime Epiphany. Jesus Christ. Crazy. Torrential Gearhulk. Oh, now we're talking. Crux of Fate. Very nice. Lethal Scheme. Very good. Murderous Rider. We like those. Baleful Strikes. Even a classic. Indicate. Voidran. Coveted Jewel. Ooh. Very interesting. Go. Getting card draw. Lands. Mostly lands, but we got non-lands here. Artifacts. Exile. Cut a deal. There's artifacts into White Orositis removal. Lingering Soul, though. Lingering Souls looks sick. There's another Swords. Hypnotic Sprites for the counter spell. Spell costs 3 less if opponent has 7 more cards in their graveyard. Propaganda, Bastion of Remembrance, Exsanguinate, Snuff Out. Ooh, Snuff Out. Seven Mine, Arcane Signets, Relic of Legends, interesting. This is for Final Fantasy 14 or something. Talismans. The Vessel. And here's the rest of the lands. Oh, and the tokens. Lands. Land heroes. Okay, this one obviously is has a lot more going on than the others. It's less focus, obviously, because it's just like play non-creature. But what I want to rescue from this into the aura deck that we were looking at, not that much, because it's obviously less focused on that. It certainly has other things we'd want to do. I guess we'd want to this into that other stuff for enchantments instead of spells. So we'll keep this sort of kind of, I like the kind of default stuff here. I'd want to keep because it's separate. But yeah, we're gonna, what do I actually want from here? What would I keep? Not that much, like I said. Honestly, we're just gonna ignore this whole thing. We're gonna let it be its own thing until I can figure out what I actually want to do with it. So yeah, we're gonna say we have enough to work with here. We're gonna leave this deck just as it came. So, because it's a Final Fantasy, kind of wants to be its own thing, right? We're just gonna pack it up, put it in its own little box the way it came. There's the box it came in. Box it came in. Here we go. Yeah, this other stuff. Here's the box we want to use. Where is the box for this chick? So, go back here. Yeah. Oh yeah, we did get it. We almost forgot. It got its own little commander booster thingy. And its own little deck box thingy. You know what? We're gonna use the Duskmourn mana base as the base, and probably the artifact stuff from here as well. just because it's actually non-exclusive, so we can do kind of both, and I'd like to do both if we can. You should have that. Oh, I'm getting a little personal here. Right, yeah, we're looking at where to start consolidating. We're going to start consolidating in the mana-based department. Obviously, just having redundancy is, these are the lands are most likely going to be all be redundant here, and so just having what we want to check out is these. Make sure we're not doubling up on that, or at least spreading them out. But yeah, the Signet's Mind Stone. So, the Talismans, the Felwar Stone, okay, Signet, other Soul Ring, other Command Tower. Do we have the Forum here? Probably not. Okay, River. Pajuka Bar is definitely in both. We put those on there. That's nice. Okay, so one of these is going to be 3-color, one is going to be 2-color. Okay. We're going to take a small break.